Way underground where the heart is spacious, forever all okay. I got my eye looking through location, you know it flows both ways. We dig it out for the new creation, from where it all takes shape. The minerals give me information, just like a sun gives rain. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Oh, under pressure, forging sound. Pressure. We come alive with the wave. Pressure. Forgive me what they say. Pressure. A brighter light is awake now. Under pressure, forging sound. Not solid, not liquid. Wobbling. Yes, the limits get lifted. Not solid, not liquid. Wobbling. Yes, the limits get lifted.
Yeah, there's nothing in this universe more beautiful than this. Okay? Nothing.
Pressure, pressure, oh, under pressure, forging stone. Pressure, we come alive with the wave. Pressure, forgive me when they say. Pressure, a brighter light is awake now. Under pressure, forging stone. Not solid, not liquid. Wobbling. Yes, the limits get lifted. Not solid, not liquid. Wobbling. Yes, the limits get Not solid, not liquid. Yeah, the limits get lifted. Not solid, not liquid. Wobbling.
Hey guys, what's up? So today we're going to be going over a few things. One, the history of 322 Day and why it's the best Dota holiday there is. Second, we will be going over patch 7.09, 10, and 11 analysis. Probably pretty brief, except for the 7.11 analysis. That one's going to take a little bit longer because that's a pretty big deal. And the music is by Kunzite, which is, it's basically Ratatat, if you're familiar with Ratatat. It's, one of the members of Ratatat, actually the member I met, really good music.
We moving up finer, blown where the wind
Thanks for watching Esports Monies. Subscribe and enable notifications with the bell icon so you don't miss any of this questionable content.
And if you hit the like button, I'll probably get more views or something, so go on and do that too, I guess. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Esports Monies, ESM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and cool, yeah, risky YouTube it is. So, couple of things. First of all, happy 322. Today's March the 22nd of 2018, and it's a holiday. If you are a Dota player, today is your biggest holiday of the year. Probably by far. The reason being is because of course, the legendary meme 322. However, a lot of people don't realize that. So this occurred in the 322 scandal, which was basically where the professional player solo bet $100 against himself through on purpose and would have won $322. But of course, the gambling website found out about this. As I mean, if I found out about it, then the whole world did. So because of that, he didn't get any of that money, and he was banned from Starladder for 9 months. He was the first guy to really be involved with a match-fixing scandal in Dota 2, and because of his match-fixing, he basically led to Valve's official policy about match-fixing. He led to pretty much every major tournament's policy on match-fixing in Dota 2. The sort of thing had happened in StarCraft before, but it had never happened in Dota. Kind of a big deal. I've got a video on Solo, mostly because he's a straight baller. Like, after that, he didn't let it mess up his career at all. The dude is doing fantastic. The dude's winning all sorts of majors left and right. I think he's won 4 majors now, so he's a pretty big deal. But this happened in June of 2013, and in March of 2014, 322 Day, which LD, the commentator and owner of Beyond the Summit, sort of made into a big deal, he was talking about, he was making jokes about 322 and the fact that it was March 22nd, and then proceeded to commentate some of the clowniest games in Dota that I have ever seen. They were an absolute joy to watch. I believe this was the game where a Spectre dropped her Radiance and then denied her own Radiance. Or I think she dropped a Radiance for a gem, and then the enemy team picked up the Radiance. So now you have the net worth difference that makes it so the Spectre is worth just as much to kill as if she had the Radiance, even though she doesn't have her Radiance. Which is another important lesson. If you ever get a big item off of an enemy hero because they're an idiot, don't destroy it. Put it in your fountain, because it adds to their net worth and makes them more valuable to kill, despite the fact they get no benefit from having the item. So, fun fact. So anyway, that is the holiday of 322. And in honor of that, we're going to catch up with some of this patch analysis. So we're going to do 7.09, 7.10, and 7.11. So 7.09, Tangos now come with recharges and cost 90 gold. We basically have come full circle on that. I'm pretty sure that's what Tangos originally cost. The starting gold was reduced by 25, but the courier cost has been reduced to 50. That's a pretty cool change. Anything that buffs supports is cool. This is probably the biggest change. Killing a neutral camp now gives a 15% gold bounty to the hero that stacked it. This isn't that much money. For a triple stack of Ancients, you can get, you're pushing 1,000 gold, which means that for the support that stacked it, you're pushing an extra 150 gold. So that's a nice bonus, but it's not really big. What this does is it incentivizes stacking camps for supports, which is a big deal because it will translate into your pub games having a lot more farm in them. Because not only does this add gold to the map, this also makes people want to go get that gold, because now people that can't kill stacks are stacking. Remember, it only goes to that hero if a hero on his team gets the last hit on that ancient stack. So it doesn't really, you don't want to be stacking it if your enemy is going to be clearing it, but you get the idea. The initial bounty rune now gives plus 40 gold to all heroes instead of 100 to the hero that picks it up. And these bounty runes look slightly different. I don't think the look thing is a big deal. You generally know that the bounty runes at the start of the game are a little bit different from the rest of them. This is a pretty cool change, though, because it still holds the dynamic of you really want to fight for these bounty runes. And now if you're sort of an apathetic player that's like, I'm not going to get the bounty rune anyway, or I don't need the bounty rune, now you actually have a stake in it, which is going to make you more likely to help contest it. So that's kind of a big deal. A lot of these changes, that change, coupled with the courier change, coupled with the the neutral stacking change, ultimately gives you a game where, or a patch where, a lot of psychological changes have occurred. So there aren't really, like, none of these changes are mathematically huge, but they lead to interesting psychological trends. They're almost manipulative in that way, because they're making players, or they're causing players to take action that mathematically aren't really incentivized, but they're incentivized enough that people want to do it, and so it changes the pub meta without actually making any overarching numerical adjustments. Range creep, acquisition range reduced. That's a very minor change. This is pretty much it for 7.09, but again, think about it in terms of a series of psychological changes that incentivize supporting, actually buff supporting, but the biggest thing they do is incentivize support play. They incentivize stacking, they incentivize helping your carry secure the rune, and they also make it a little bit less painful to be a support because of this gold change. So patch 7.01, Dark Willow in Captain's Mode. Now I think I've seen at least one map with Dark Willow in Captain's Mode so far. I think that's fine. Hero's good. Hero's pretty strong, I think, but she's a hero that, because she's kind of weird and kind of, well, ridiculous, she's not as popular as you would expect her to be. So at the very, she's sort of like the opposite of an Invoker or an Earth Spirit. I guess Earth Spirit's the best example. So with Earth Spirit, the better everyone gets with Earth Spirit, like let's say Earth Spirit is the same way he was when he was launched. With everyone in the world that has practiced that hero and have gotten good with that hero, the hero is broken in every possible direction, and the hero only gets more broken, only gets more powerful as people learn to play him. The opposite is true for Dark Willow. Dark Willow is sort of a one-trick pony. She's very, very strong, but she's kind of like an Ursa. She's a hero that the better the community gets, the worse the hero gets. And that's because everything about the hero is hard countered by BKB. So Bounty Rune base gold increased, but it doesn't affect the first one, so that change is still the same way it was. Tome of Knowledge XP bonus increased from 500 to 700. This is pretty cool because, especially at level 10, you kind of want, or not at level 10, but at 10 minutes in, you want a big boost in experience to the hero that gets it. I wouldn't be surprised to see this buff get pushed farther, but we'll have to see about that. Also, because of the changes in the next patch, so I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, but in 7.11, basically the way buybacks and the way death timers work was adjusted a little bit, so it doesn't matter if you're level 25, you no longer have a massively longer respawn time than a level 20 hero. And so because of this, it makes sense, like the Tome of Knowledge is further incentivized, because you have a situation where, if you have a situation where you have a super farmed, like position 1 that's level 20 and everyone in the game's around level 20, then it makes sense to feed them as many levels as possible, because the drawback of them leveling up is basically null. Aeon disc cooldown reduced by 10, that's fine. I really, really like seeing Boots of Speed buffed. I don't like that Power Treads and Phase Boots now give you as much movement speed as Brown Boots. I don't necessarily like that as a design choice. I like it for myself because a lot of games, if you're playing Lycan, especially if you're a little bit behind, or you're just straight going Wolves need no armor and you're not getting treads, which I still like to do, if you're skipping treads and you only have brown boots, then you're literally only missing out on stats. So it's not that big of a deal to skip it if you want to do that. It makes skipping treads or phase boots less punishing. I'm a fan of that personally because a lot of heroes I play, I just go straight brown boots into travels. But as a design choice, I don't really like that because I think Boots of Speed being a little bit slower than the other boots is nice. I would have liked to see like boots of speed 45 from 40, and then phase boots and power treads either 50 or 55. However, I want to remind you guys that boots of speed originally used to be like this. So change logs. So boots of speed in patch 6.69. So how long ago was that? I think I was playing during that. I was not. I was not actively playing during this. So 6.73. I'd started not long after this. So 6.76, I'm pretty sure I definitely was playing, actually. Yeah, I was playing during 6.76. So with 6.69, the movement speed bonus of movements of boots of speed was 55. Then it got reduced to 50 in 6.76, and then 6.86 got removed to 45. So they made it cheaper and reduced what you got from it. And now they're sort of changing that. They jumped the price from 400 gold to 500. It was 450 for a couple of years. Yeah, it was 450 from 7.6 to 8.6. 8.6, I want to say, is 2015. 2015, yeah, December of 2015. So that's basically the end of 20. So that's 3 full years, I want to say, right? Yeah, that's 3 years and 2 months. So 38 months. We had 450 gold boots of speed. And when I started playing, they were 500 gold, and they gave you 55 movement speed. Now they've been brought all the way down to 400 gold and 40 speed to now they're back up to 500, but they give you 45 speed. So they're almost identical to, actually, yeah, or they give you 50 speed. So they give you 5 speed less with the same price that they did when I started Dota 2 in June of 2012. So very, very similar item. And we're seeing a lot of these changes, and I'm going to expand on this more, but we're seeing a lot of design decisions that happened in Dota 2 over the years get rollback. And that's a theme that we've seen with all of these every other Thursday patches. So Flying Courier movement speed increased by 10. Soul Ring health cost increased from 150 to 170. It's whatever. Abaddon buffs. Alchemist buffed a little bit. Just these are mostly mathematical changes, except Anti-Mage level 20 talent has been. Is this a buff to Anti-Mage? That should not be. I don't know if Anti-Mage needed a buff, but whatever. Arc Warden 10% cooldown CDR to. This is probably a good move. Axe level 15 talent increase, because the 10% CDR would also apply to Midas, and that would mean at level 20 now you suddenly have double Midas with a 10% cooldown, which brings you with a 90-second dual Midas. So 100, yeah, every 90 seconds you can pop a double Midas. That's pretty big. Centaur Warlord minor buff Clinks. I read these patches as they came out. Haven't seen anything that I remembered as being really big. CM getting a level 15 plus 120 GPM talent's pretty big, and 250 health at level 10 is also pretty big. We've seen a lot of really big HP talents early on in the game, so like Terrorblade getting a 300 hit point talent at level 15 is pretty big because he has 12 armor. I think by level 15 he's probably got like 14 or 15 armor. So if you got 14 or 15 armor, 300 health, that's going to boost you up from like Terrorblade. So at level 15, he has 960 health with no items. So he's probably got like 1200 health, and that's going to boost you up to 1500. And your armor is 18. So with a little bit of stats, you definitely over 20 armor, and now you're at like 1500 health. The hero is getting really, really, really tanky, to the point where I think that 300 HP talent is going to be the thing that makes him game-breakingly good. He's going to be too good, I think. Like in... Spirit Bear health regen increased a bit, which is good. OD Astral mana cost increased by 20 at all levels, and level 10 talent increased to give him an extra 50 health. Terrorblade, base HP regen reduced by 0.25. Reflection no longer reduces attack speed, but generally speaking with Reflection, it's mostly used to slow people that are retreating, so it's not a very big change. In fact, it's a change that I would say makes sense. Tiny tree grab cooldown. This is another change I really like because I'm okay with Tiny having a tree permanently at level 25. I am not okay with Tiny having a tree permanently at level 1. Makes sense. Ursa Fury Swipe's Roche duration increased. Ursa Dota 2. Pretty sure that Ursa actually... Fury Swipes duration from 15 to 20. What? So the debuff duration is 20 seconds on most players. It's 10 on everybody else. I thought it was actually longer on Roche the whole time, but I probably am just misremembering this. Okay, yeah. Fury Swipes in 6.78, which occurred while... I'm pretty sure this while I was playing. The duration was increased, and the duration was left the same on Roche. Yeah, that was while I was playing. That was early 2016. Or early 2013. Fury Swipes becoming no longer a UAM was a pretty big deal. 6.81, Lycan. Yeah, that was a very minor nerf down. Cool. Wraith King, level 15 talent. So Wraith King has a pretty cool he's got a pretty cool level 20 talent now. So +5 max skeletons means that you actually have to save them up. What's up, KK? Wraith King's level 20 talent makes it so you actually you don't have to save up charges to summon a skeleton army. And if you get plus 25 attack damage, let me see what this is. Mortal Strike, max skeleton charges, 7. So that could be 14 skeletons, and their damage... I thought these were invulnerable, actually. Okay, they're not invulnerable. Magic resist is 0. Yeah, so you can kill them pretty easy. Damage. Yeah, so that's like that's more than a 50% increase to their damage. So that's actually a pretty big deal, and Wraith King's also a hero that's like a strength core. What's up, Strange Juice? Wraith King's also kind of a weird core. So like Wraith King he's a strength hero, and he likes to build AC anyway because he has a lot of hit points and not a lot of armor. So if you have AC on him anyway, and then you suddenly spec talent-wise for it, then you have double skeletons and plus 25 attack damage. You now have 14 skeletons that have... That's a pretty short base attack time. 1.2 is a really short base attack time. So they're attacking in sub-second territory, and they have Vampiric Aura, and they have like 65 damage. So you actually get a pretty solid pusher. Also, not to mention, if you're going the AC build on Wraith King, you now have -5 armor aura. And these guys have like 5 armor or 10 armor or something. What's AC give you? Assault aura. So 5 armor. So you now have 6 armor on all these guys, and you have -5 armor. Or yeah, you have 6 armor on all these guys, and you have -5 armor on enemy buildings. And you can summon like 14 of them at once. And most of all, you don't have to save. So like at level 15, if you got the +5 max skeletons, you didn't just get 12 skeletons. If you had 7 charges saved up, you still had to get 5 more CS to get the 12 skeletons. Now at level 20, you can just ding it, you got full charges, you got your AC, press a button, and wham, it gets spooky. That Zeus cast range talent's pretty absurd, though. Sven. Okay, I actually haven't played Sven since this patch dropped. That's a big deal. So at level 20, minus 5 seconds Stormhammer cooldown. Level 25 talent change from minus... that stun duration is pretty big, but you don't really... You're not going to see it as much. Because the strength is... The 40 God Strength is so huge. So, like, God Strength... God Strength gives you... self-attack damage bonus. So it gives you 160% of your attack damage, and that actually works on your... that's on your base strength that can be manipulated or affected by your alt. So you get 40 God Strength. This means you now have you have 70 God Strength. 70 times 1.6. You're getting a bonus of like you're getting like almost 200 damage, right? You're getting like at least 160, 170 damage. And, you know, you got crit on him anyway. And all of this damage is like... It's not going to... The bonus from God's Strength, I'm pretty sure, doesn't stack with crit. But the strength does. So that's another 70 strength that's being stacked as crit. But because of this, you can actually go for the... Like, this I always went movement speed. This I always went lifesteal. This was a debate. And this was a debate depending on the game. Now it's kind of like... Unless if you're having a medium speed, like a slow to medium speed game, you kind of want to not get the lifesteal because you still have Mask of Madness. So, minus 5 seconds Stormhammer cooldown, what's that leave you with? 8. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. The thing about minus 5 seconds on the Stormhammer is like, you still want it to synergize with Stormhammer dispelling enemies, because if you get Stormhammer dispels enemies, the big benefit there is being able to use it on targets that are affected by Ethereal, either Ethereal Blade or a Ghost Scepter or whatever, and then you can use the Stormhammer on them, you remove that debuff, you did a good chunk of damage and they're stunned, so you can just walk up and then hit them once and they die. Like, that's literally how it's how it goes down. Sven's a badass. But it's still like you kind of... If you need to get Stormhammer dispels enemies anyway, then you probably need to get the cooldown. The only reason that you would get the Stormhammer dispels enemies and then you would get the 25% lifesteal is if you were against a hero that had a really, really, really powerful buff that you could dispel that had a really long cooldown, because the cooldown of Stormhammer is like, what, 12, 13? 13. So... But I think you always get the 40 strength. 2.75 seconds is good, but like, is 3/4 of a second of stun time worth 40 God Strength? Because the way that I typically play Sven, like, assuming I have an Echo Saber and a Daedalus and my ult is on, I'm gonna kill you. You're gonna die. What's the cooldown on Echo Saber? It's 5 seconds. It doesn't matter, yeah. Like, just get the... You always get God Strength. The only reason you get the Stormhammer stun duration is if you have both of these already skilled, and you really need it. So, like, there's, like, even... The situations that get you both of these talents still don't necessarily... Oh, God, we need to zoom in, don't we? My bad. The situation that gets you both of these talents still doesn't necessarily dictate that you need this talent. Because this talent is so fucking good. It's so good. Pretty cool. Skywrath needs a buff. Or needed one. Lena definitely needs like a series of buffs. Luna, I think Luna is one of those heroes that like Ice Frog right now thinks is like low-key balling out of control and nobody's figured it out yet. So he's really afraid to buff her. Here's the thing though. I've got a pretty good eye for seeing the hidden potential of heroes, and I think Luna is straight up trash right now. Because you don't want to have to build that hero as a magic damage hero, because magic damage gets countered by a single fucking item. Actually, it gets countered by several, but as long as you have one of those items, you're good. 7.11. So basically the way this works is AoE gold for the losing team no longer scales with the overall team net worth difference, just the individual net worth of the dying hero. Previously, a core on your team doing really well meant that a support on your team dying gave an increasing amount of gold to the enemy. So what this means is, before the change, if you were a position 5 hero and your team was up by 30k gold and you still had no gold because it was all concentrated in your position 1, your 2, and your 3, if you died, you still fed a disproportionately large amount of money to the enemy team. That doesn't happen anymore. Which is really, really cool if you like to AFK farm, like I do. Because it means that as you're getting a huge amount of gold, as long as you personally aren't dying, you're fine. You're totally fine. This is not a full rework or backtrack of the rubber band patch, but it is a backtrack of the rubber band patch. To a certain extent, this is rolling back the rubber band patch. So what the rubber band patch was I want to say it was 2015, 2014 or 2015. Dota 2 rubber band patch. What was the rubber band patch? Yeah, yeah, so it was 6.82. Wait. End of 2014. Yeah, it was like, this was like a patch. Wait, was this the Techies patch? This might have been the patch Techies came out. Was it Techies? Techies release date. I'm pretty sure that was, because I know Techies came out in August or September. So if this wasn't the Techies patch, yeah, this might have been the first patch immediately after Techies release. Yeah, I think this patch was like a month after Techies release. But anyway, the rubber band patch is like the most infamous patch in Dota 2 history, I think. It's probably the most infamous patch of Dota 2 history because its implications have stayed relevant for almost 4 years now. So in 6 months, it'll be 4 years. So for 3.5 years, the rubber band patch has drastically impacted the dynamic of the game and the way the game is played and the way the game works. Ooh, International Collector's Cash Call to Arms is up. But anyway, this essentially rolls back a huge part of the rubber band patch. And even though it mathematically isn't a straight up total reversion of what happened with the rubber band patch, it's a pretty big rollback. It's pretty much like Ice Frog going, you know, I don't know if I really like this whole rubber band thing. Which is really, really cool because fuck the rubber band patch. Fuck it. Fuck that noise. Fuck everything about it. I do not like the rubber band patch. I never liked the idea that I should lose my lead immediately because, like, it's like, are you going to punish me in the future for gaining a lead now? And, like, that in general is not a bad principle. But when you say that and then you're like, well, what's the situation you're talking about? And you're like, every single game of Dota 2. That's when you run into a problem. What's up, Carbon Bond? That's some good juice. So, do we get a patch today? 322 competitive matches. Boys. Yeah, give him an upvote. Give him an updo. Do we get an update? Is today the Thursday? Nah, we got a patch a week ago. We don't get a patch today. But Carbon Bond, did you hear my rant about the rubber band patch? That's too strong. Too strong. Alright, so you 13 mana boy. Happy 322 day. Oh yeah, so Carbon, what I was saying about the my rant about the rubber band patch. So first of all, fuck the rubber band patch, and second of all, fuck that noise. The idea behind it is you're gonna punish me later for getting a lead now. And that in general is a cool idea and an interesting principle. Until you go, okay, well, turn quality down or check Twitch, but only if you have really fucking good internet. Because the Twitch bitrate is high AF. So basically what I was saying is Turbo. So what I was saying is that it's basically like the idea of punishing someone later for getting a lead now is a very, very old principle in gaming. It's a very, very old principle. It's the idea of like, what is the idea behind a greedy lineup? Well, a greedy lineup means one of two things. Either you're banking, a greedy lineup really just like boiled down to a single meaning, just means you're putting all of your eggs in one basket. Cool, I see you, Carbon. The problem with the rubber band is it's punishing you later for getting a lead now, and there's no condition. So it's punishing you in a way for being greedy. So like if you're being greedy, you can be greedy in the sense that I'm gonna get really, really, really farmed and then win later in the game, or it's greedy in the sense that I picked the least greedy lineup in the world and I have to win by a very, very specific short period of time, or the enemy just outcarries me and I just lose. The problem with the rubber band patch as a general rule is that it suddenly takes every single possible scenario and says, if you get ahead now, we're going to punish you for it later in all matches of Dota. Which is why it's garbage. Straight up garbage. Oh. Dota? Dota! There's Dota. There is Dota. So, that's a problem I have. Yeah, I mean, it's great and all. The problem is that I encountered as Lycan is that if my team, it throws a big wrench into the way I play a lot of heroes, because the way the rubber band mechanic worked had nothing to do with kills. It was all due to net worth and experience. So the experience punished you for getting ahead because you had longer dieback times. And the gold punished you because the enemy team got more money per kill depending on the cumulative aggregated farm of your team. So, if I'm AFK farming and I'm getting all of my items to go play Rat Boy, and my team loses like a team fight, we're gonna throw thousands upon thousands of gold, even though those 4 players that just died aren't worth as much as the 4 that killed
Someone,
them.
please. 5 seconds remaining.
Meepo, Weepo, Weepo, Meepo. Let's turn on some music. Set on some tunes, boys. Um,
5 seconds remaining.
Where's the playlist? There we go, there's the playlist. If you guys are curious what the music is, it's Kunzite, which is Mike Stroud of Ratatat, and
5 seconds
White Flight.
remaining.
I don't know the guy's name.
Love feminine fuzz. I'm a kneel down. So what am I drown? The fingertip buzz. Come a rebound. No digger, no ground. On the eminent rush. The jewel that you found.
Smart.
Always forget which one it is.
I can do no less.
Oh, fuck.
30 seconds.
Whoa! Oh, I forgot to turn it off. I was gonna be like, somebody has my courier? Whoa, I got DirectX 9 in use? That's why it feels like I'm time traveling.
The battle begins.
And I'm like,
I have waited long enough.
because I'm an idiot.
Into the death road of 5 idiots.
First blood.
Remember, you don't actually need friends anymore.
Good idea.
I guess that works.
That was a really good move by that dude.
Of course.
I hope it was on purpose.
I'll do it.
God, we thought. Fuck, dead. Dead, boys.
Oh wow, I forgot Shadow Shaman's basically a ranged Trap Protector.
I'm just gonna play a little passive here.
Oh, and I only have 3 tangos. Nice. I like it.
Nice. Never yet.
Yeah. That's...
They might push this lane aggressively.
Good choice. Yes.
Look at that EXP. You 13 mana boy.
I blow by the breeze. Run as you can. Keep it there. Agreed. Yeah.
You 13 mana, boy. Ah, bad.
What you say?
I guess I'll start pushing now.
Yes.
Radiant structures are fortified.
On the way. Why not? Right.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck, he's got a DD.
So you say. That's right. Attack.
Ooh.
The battle. My code compels me. Nice.
Your top tower has been denied.
Whoa. Pushing.
Not done yet. Yes, ma'am.
Gross.
Careful, mid. Profit my.
One bar.
I have a quilling blade, bro.
Yes. Why not? Agreed. Die now.
Missing profit?
I'll do it. Good idea.
What the fuck is that AM doing?
Good enough.
Feed.
Only profit. Yes.
Fuck, wrong piece first, it's fine.
I can do no less. Lord of discipline. Good. Right. Good choice.
That was calculated as fuck.
Jesus. Good idea. What?
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Wait, what?
Oh no!
Radiant structures are fortified.
Why not?
Motherfucker.
Not good, boys.
Not done yet.
It was. It's okay. We can recover from that, hopefully.
I can do no less. Feel my blade. At last. Yes.
Whoa! I'm fucking dead. Get him! Pooped.
At least their AM's a feeder.
We got that going for us.
Right? It could be worse.
to level 15 Pangolier. I went with the mana because it's a safer choice.
Under there.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Yes.
Your top tower is under attack.
I have to get trips.
Very well.
Your top tower is under
My
attack.
boat composer.
Whoa.
Right.
Take top, guys.
I'll do it.
Radiant structures are fortified. Your middle tower is under attack.
That is a scary ass Pangolier.
I would have came, but didn't look so good. Next time, sorry.
Your bottom
only a
tower is
flesh
under
wound.
attack.
Under.
They've warded our here.
Middle tower, take it off your Christmas card. It's gone.
Very well. I know. By the dreams.
I'm gonna go with this, dude.
I can do all this.
There's 322.
Careful. Does this have a Shadow Blade? Do you know what he has?
Would not surprise me.
Nah, he's blinking fuel.
Good. And compliment to my blade.
Your top tower is under attack.
Dunkus here, Shadow Blade up.
Your top tower has fallen.
Good enough.
God, I was like fucking Ursa there. Arcane Ring.
I claim the right. A good choice. That's right. Yes.
We do.
My court composer.
Nice. Well played. Let's push off to that.
I'm coming.
Coming. Big.
Middle tower has fallen.
These fuckers just
TP.
sniped our
You
top.
guys can...
Do it proper.
God damn it.
Why not?
Got him there.
Your
No
bash!
dust. No dust.
The bash!
But it's your top tower. It says it's being destroyed. Your middle tower is under attack.
My call compels me. You, my blade.
I gotta remember not to stack.
On the way.
That's
Oh,
totally good.
idleness. This is going to be absurd. Right. I can do no less. Yeah,
Fuck.
very
An
well.
anti-mage. Got Daedalus, boys!
Yes.
Jim,
Do it proper.
Let's get the whole racks right here.
Move on.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
We can end. You guys are trying to end?
let's try, but let's get Rex first just to be safe. Yeah, I have got strength.
Got it, boys. GG.
Nice.
Nice job, guys. Well played. That was actually a lot
Happy
of fun.
March
Shit.
22nd, boys. What's up, Orhan? What's good, dude? I haven't talked to you in forever. How you been? Guys, Orhan lived with me, like, in the heyday of my Lycan. That's a cool one. Void's one of those heroes that I wish I were good with. So TI8 tickets go on sale in 18 hours, boys. 1 PM tomorrow, my time. Do I have to get a passport to go to Canada? I think I do. I have a passport, I just didn't know where it is. I should probably find that and go to TI. I'm in America. I'm doing well, dude. I got my master's. Finished my degree. Oh, Orhan. The guy singing is the guy that did Abuela. What do I think about Dota Plus? I don't like it out of principle, but I don't think it actually affects anything. I've never played a card game before in my life. But yes, I'm hype about Artifact. I'm gonna play the hell out of some Artifact. Anything that I can, like, just bring up and play without a time commitment is one of the reasons I love Dota Turbo. Yeah, Roy, my, DJ Regicide is Roy. Roy, JMU paid for my masters, and they gave me a living wage while I was doing it. I keep wanting to click the corner and minimize this because I assume it's just a stream up on this monitor, but it's actually my game. It's like, wow, this guy sucks. Let's watch something. Oh shit, this is me playing Dota. I agree with that, Carbon Bond. Carbon Bond says Dota Plus should be free, and then you should just have to buy shards. Or could buy shards. I think that's the appropriate way to do things. Dude, I was talking to somebody, a famous Dota 2 memer. I won't say anything more than that to protect his anonymity. But guy's a buddy with me. He has the Aegis. He actually just messaged me on Discord. Can't tell you much more than that. Except, he's gotta stop. Wait, you can't buy shards as it is? I thought you could buy shards, but you had to buy Dota Plus and then buy shards. Or buy some way that made you got shards faster. I thought there was some way you could pay to get more shards.
Your turn to ban. 5 seconds remaining.
Who keeps the company of wolves?
Prepare for battle. Just enough time to make a cup of tea.
Yes.
I guess I'm safe farm.
Call to battle.
Time to get angry with each other.
Gold for me. Gold. I look to battle. The wolf runs.
Oh.
Fealty to none.
I don't need armor.
Ah. In savage fury. First blood. Come on, God, Hunting.
He came back for more.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, fuck. I didn't see you there, Post. My bad. You missed my frozen dog right there. Oh, is damage amp associated with wild access now? What the hell?
Yes. Call to battle. Beware the
Fudge.
wolf.
Ellie giggle.
Fusion. As must be. Ah. Denied. Onward. Of course. Yes.
I'll go treads. I think I need to go treads since you only carry.
So you say.
I'm the closest thing to a carry.
Gold for me. On the trail. Feel you to none.
Back it up. Oh! Hmm.
The wolf runs.
I've almost got ult.
Of course. Call to battle. As must be. Fealty to none. Remove to battle. No, my fool.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Brooks Tower. Brooks Tower with the rings.
Hell yeah! That top tower got
This
burned.
must be.
Holy shit. See what I was saying about the stacking touch?
Tooth and nail. Yes.
Good god.
Ah.
There is no
So you say.
town, just more
Should have
bloody
walked back and
towers.
GP'd out, but I was so low, it was kind of dangerous for me to be out in the open.
Gather woods. Onward. To the black seas. Not so fast. Like your life.
Excuse me, sir, but it's your top tower. It says it's being destroyed.
Damage. He does not have blink.
As it please
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
well, the trail many doors. I open one for you.
Your top tower is under attack. Why is this so bloody difficult?
The wolf runs. Gold for me. Gather woods. The wolf runs. Call to battle. In savage fury. Gather more. Then thunder.
If it was me, I need a new pair of pants.
Rip your flesh. Of course.
Pardon the interruption, sir, but it's a phone call from your middle tower. It says it's being destroyed.
No, my wolves feast. Hunting.
Middle tower, take it off your Christmas card list. It's gone!
Birds need no armor.
Those sods, we got their bum power. Rock on, Tommy.
In my father's name. Ah, my instincts are keen. I love to battle. Indeed.
Your top tower is under attack. Ding dong! Your top tower has fallen.
The wolf is at your door. Haste! Attack! I look to battle. Rot! Yes. Now my wolves will feast. As must be. Call to battle. I look to battle. For the honor of my house. Fealty to none. Beware the wolf. Gather wolves! Indeed. Ah, my instincts are true.
Radiant structures are fortified. The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Not bad.
and nobody pin you down. All you see is angels in the angles.
Savage.
No guilt, no shame, no baggage, you all around.
Hunting.
You don't wanna be nobody's savior. You break away and move to the higher ground. Dilated iris in the chamber. Wheels on display, go round to the holy house.
In my father's mood.
Ah, I came to the wrong neighborhood.
Invisibility. His disgrace shall be avenged. Gather wolves! Hunting. Feel to land.
Roche is just a chill dude to someone
Immortality.
why Radiant had to go and kill him.
Attack! A shift in power.
Not everywhere.
So you say. Gather wolves! Beware the wolf. As it please you. Double kill.
Your bottom tower is
The
under
wolf is
attack.
at your door.
Oh man, this is totally harshing my mellow. Your bottom tower is under attack. We're detecting. Your bottom tower has fallen. Your bottom tower is under attack. Bottom tower collapsed. The enemy's middle tower. Your bottom tower is under attack. Bottom tower, go bye-bye.
Oh, I have a 3,000 buyback. I'm not buyback. Fuck.
Your structures are fortified.
That was fucking retarded. Fuck. So they're gonna have a 24. is that LC so hard to fucking kill?
Your middle tower is under attack.
That's why. Really twisted your arm on this one. Oh look, you get 6% off for 6 months.
Comes now the King of Raids.
I enter the pattern.
This is, like, his level 10 talents are so ridiculously good. Like, holy shit. He's got baller talents.
Man, someone please. 5 seconds remaining.
Fuck this quick boy. Really?
The loom weakens and a new pattern appears. Skitter on. Yes.
30 seconds.
Shuttle off.
It's in the bag.
Time to man up.
A golden thread. Yes.
Into the Valley of Death rode the 5 idiots.
Yes.
This guy's so evil.
Yes. Hey, loom. Creep and crawl. Yes. I am compelled. Cut and weave.
I hate Weaver's attack animation so much.
I must. Scuttling. Yes. Shuttle off. Slash. Scuttling in. Hot. A taut threat. First blood. Well, today, click, click. Hey, loom. Scatter. Slips. Skitter on. Cut him. I'm under attack. I am compelled. Creep and crawl. Bitter pattern. Haste. Yes. I must. Bitter pattern. Yes. Skitter on.
Never.
Creep and crawl. Shuttle off. I must hit one.
I foresaw your death the moment you were born.
Cut and weave. I am compelled. Yes. Strike. Rend you. Scatolini. Yes.
It's your top tower. It says it's being destroyed.
Yes.
Fuck.
Cut and weave. Into the frame. Creep and crawl. I am compelled.
Oh shit.
Your page in history ends.
Sometimes.
Bitter pattern. Dazzle. Out of time's weave.
You can't
I
hear
see
me?
More of the pattern.
You should be able to hear me.
Attack.
Dire structures are fortified.
Run, buddy, run!
Oh, they got me.
Yes. Scatter.
The bottom tower is under attack.
I am compelled. I'm under attack. Yes.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Into the fray.
Oh yeah, that top tower got boned.
Skitter on. Cut and weave.
You should be able to hear me. Testing. You guys hear me?
Invisibility. Scatolini. A golden thread. Feed the swarm. Yes. Bitter pattern. Sash. I must. Yes. And you. I loom. Shuttle off. Creep and cruise.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Why is it so bloody difficult? Dire structures are fortified.
Shuttle off.
Your bottom tower has fallen. There is no entrance. The enemy's middle tower is being destroyed.
Skitter scatter. Strike.
The enemy's middle barracks has fallen.
What the fuck?
If you were still alive, I'd still be shooting.
Your middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Your middle tower is fallen. Oh, wizard should know better.
That was a good try.
Catch my weight another season. Remember, you don't ever need a reason. Lifetime chasing after all the demons. Nothing now, we can all get even. Over time, that's how I will sweeten. No more games means no more secret. No more haste, we bring it to completion. Every single path leads away from our freedom. Don't you love it? Don't you love it how the sound is invisible? Don't you feel it in the bone and the mineral? Don't you won't you hear it from the mouth of the original? Don't you love it how the sound is
Rust. Cut and weave. Yes.
Those sods, we got their bum tower. Rock on, Tommy.
I am compelled. Yes.
Who's the wiser? Who's gonna
Yes.
early riser?
Yo.
Who'd rather trade?
Yes. Not yet. I loom. Cut and weave. Snip, snip. A golden thread. Cut you down. Scuttling me.
Here's Aegis. Oh, shit.
Then we can meet face to face.
Fuck noob.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen. Your bottom tower has fallen. Who did that? Who did that? Radiant structures are fortified. Excuse me, sir, but it's your top tower. It says it's being destroyed.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
I must. Creep and crawl. Bitter pattern. Yes. I loom. Cut and weave.
Mind out, chaps. Bottom barracks is getting fiddled on.
A golden thread. Snip, snip.
Get them out.
ready. Hey, you. Creep and crawl. I must. Skitter scatter. It's not time yet.
Your top tower is under attack. Hey, you guys doing some great work. Forget about it. The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
There's a bloodthorn on the fucking prophet. Okay, just get that back.
Your middle tower is under attack. It said it's being destroyed. Dire structures are fortified. Hello? We needed that middle tower has fallen. Your top barracks has fallen.
It was just a haze.
Your middle barracks has fallen. Great enemy now has mega troops.
Skitter off. I'm not ready. Shuttle off. It's not time yet. Scatolini. Bitter patter.
Middle tower, take it off your Christmas card list. It's gone.
Swarm them. Yes.
Yeah, I should have done some defensive fucking items. Whew, that was close.
Your ancient is under attack.
The game's over before I come back to life.
They're attacking the big rock thing. Radiant structures are fortified.
$322.
The dire dudes won, and now that's it. Everything is over.
The threads of fate are mine to weave.
He played well, but he was a fucking dick. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna play something else, I guess. I don't know. Happy 322 day, everybody. I'm gonna make this VOD public. What a fucking asshole. Good games. I fucking sucked in that game. Oh my god. I was really fucking bad. Like, I was a straight up liability. Hard to watch, huh? Alright. you guys all have a great 322, and I'm gonna be streaming a bunch of Skyrim VR in early April, so be excited for that, because I'm fucking excited for Skyrim VR. I'm gonna see if I can program the mic and the headset to respond to voice commands so I can just scream Fos Roda and do shouts. So I'm pretty hyped about that. Pretty excited. Huh. See y'all.